Driving your car, you need to park it somewhere, and in a word, this next one is confusing. You pay for parking, and on one side of the receipt, you're told to take it with you. The other side gives you a completely different set of directions. So which one is right, and what happens if you guess wrong? News reporter Louise Hartland joins us now with one man's story of parking confusion. Louise.
Hudson, Roland Isaacs says he's completely confused when he purchased the ticket from the lot at the ferry terminal, and it turns out he's not alone.
It's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen as far as parking goes.
Roland Isaacs refuses to pay a parking violation ticket he got in the Robbins parking lot at the Swartz Bay Ferry terminal. On the front, the ticket says, "Keep this ticket with you." But on the back,
If you look at the ticket, it says on it, it has to be on the vehicle. Null and void if not placed on the vehicle. So there's no possible way. It's an absolute contradiction.
664?
Yeah.
and he's not the only one confused by the ticketing debacle.
There we go, good. Let's take it back. Keep the ticket with you. Last time it was in the car.
And if you turn it over, what does it say?
Place other side up with, yeah.
So what does that lead you to believe, like, where should the ticket be?
In the car. Right? Extremely confusing. I think I've already paid too much anyway.
Place other side up with date and time clearly visible.
What does that lead you to believe, like, where should that ticket be?
In my car.
Roland was parked in long-term parking and left his ticket on his dash, believing if he didn't, it would be invalid. But when he was late getting back to Victoria, he had a $59 penalty ticket waiting for him on his windshield. He called Robbins Monday morning.
She said to me that if you look on the front of your ticket, and I did, it says you can extend your time. But I explained to her that we didn't have the ticket here because it was required to be on the vehicle. So she said, so I thought, how do you justify that then? You know, what's the contradiction there? So she said, well, that's old paper stock we're trying to use up.
After numerous calls to Robbins Parking went unreturned, we went to the company's office in downtown Victoria to get some answers.
I can understand that. If we have one thing on the back of the ticket and another statement on the front of the ticket, I can certainly understand how that can be confusing.
Robbins Parking President Dan Sawchuk says he wasn't aware of the problem and will make sure it doesn't happen again.
We will get that ticket stock out of those machines as soon as possible and replace it with ticket stock that doesn't have that discrepancy on it.
For Roland, it's a matter of principle. He wonders how many others have paid the price for being confused.
Like, what do you want from Robbins?
I want a chocolate ice cream and an apology.
Do you want to have to pay?
I'm not going to pay the ticket.
And it turns out he doesn't have to. Robbins' president says they'll cancel his ticket after all. Robbins says the ticket at the ferry terminal lot are designed to be taken with you so you can extend your time if you want to extend your stay on the mainland. Roland called me late this afternoon after our visit with Robbins. He says that he finally got through to the president and his ticket has been canceled. But he says next time he'll be driving on the boat. Hudson.
All right. How about the ice cream? Any word on that?
No word on the ice cream yet. Waiting to hear back.
Yeah. Okay. We'll stay on that. Thank you, Louise.